Hey guys, welcome back. I am your host, Martha May, along with my new co-host, and we are just excited to be here. Thank you for listening. Co-host, what's going on?
What up, y'all? It's ZyronSpeaks. I'm so excited to be here with my boo. Hey, we about to get into the meaty-greedy. We about to talk about some real shit, talk about stuff that, probably people don't really think about, but we about to get y'all thinking. So, yeah, let's get into it. Hey, Miss Martha May.
Thank you. I'm excited. Woo!
I'm excited. I'm so excited. I can't stop smiling. Hey, but how are you?
I'm good. Tired today. And I usually don't like to respond with because I hate when people tell me that shit. Like, I hate when people say, oh, I'm tired. Like, I didn't ask if you were tired. Give me another adjective. But I'm legit sleepy. You called me and I was literally waking up as you were calling me.
I was like, gotta be on time today. Gotta call you on time.
Yo. And yeah, how are you? What's going on with you?
I'm here too. Just a little tired. It's rainy out here in Cali, so yeah, it's giving just very relaxed. Let me chill. I got my candle lit, so I'm posted up.
Right. When I was there, I could probably count on my hands how much it count on one hand, and I was there for 9 months. Count on one hand how many times it rained.
It's scary because now we're expecting rain for the next 2 days from a little Hurricane May, and I was like, hold on, boo, wait. Saturday, Friday, and Saturday, where we do that at?
Right. It's
It's crazy though because I've been out here almost 4 years, and I feel like I'm not in double digits for rain either.
Yeah,
this hasn't did it.
Yeah. Dry as fuck.
Girl, my hair.
No, seriously.
Okay.
So I have a question for you today. Should prostitution be legal, decriminalized, or not? Or so maybe banned. And then you told me the other day how you were doing research or whatever, and so I decided to do that as well because I was like, don't let me be fucking ignorant. I'm not trying to whatever. And of course you're gonna have your own opinion, right? But
right.
I was just trying to kind of brush up on some facts or stats from other places, right? And so let me tell you though, before I looked up stats on why it shouldn't be legal, I was like, yeah, it should be legal. You know what I'm saying? And then I looked at the stats for why it shouldn't be legal, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, well, these people have a point, even though I feel like why it shouldn't be legal, the reasons that I was given, and I was reading an article, and I'll post that down in the show notes for the listeners as well, but I feel like it was just based on the fact that, so why it shouldn't be legal is based on the fact that it's not actually decreasing violence and crime for the prostitutes involved, or for the sex workers involved. It's not actually helping them. And I guess this, the interviewers for this article kind of testified that it wasn't actually helping them at the hands or at the expense of the sex buyers. And I was like, well, damn, if it's not actually helping to be legalized, because in the places that it is legalized, they've actually seen increases of trafficking and sex buyers and things like that. So I was like, oh shoot, like if it's not actually helping, then what the fuck is the point? But then so I made a list of stuff that I kind of found, and again I'll post the articles and the show notes and things. But so reasons why it should be legal is that it'd become a regulated safe space for women to practice consensual sexual acts for money. It gets women off the streets. It creates a healthier sexual environment for women. So like how I think I was talking to you about it before, about these places kind of making it a requirement for not only just the workers but the people who come in to have regular STI screenings, regular HIV screenings, only authorized by like a handful of clinics. And so if you get it authorized by this clinic, we know or not whether it's, legit or not. It could reduce violence, but I don't know if that's actually the case based off of the articles that I read, kind of saying it shouldn't be legal. And then I thought this was a really good point. So an article was like, alcohol, gambling, and tobacco, and lap dancing, and porn are all legal. And it was saying how those things are not necessarily good things, but they're taxed and they're making a profit, and they're regulated. So not making prostitution a crime isn't helping the girls kind of, what did it say? It's not helping them because they are probably more reluctant to go to the police if it's illegal, if they're being treated poorly. Because if my pimp or whoever, and guys, I've never been a fucking prostitute. You know what I mean? I don't have the mindset of like, I gotta suck this person off or I'm not gonna feed my fucking kids type shit. I've never experienced that before. But logically thinking, I'm just like, if that were to be the case and I'm doing something illegal, I don't want the fucking cops involved. I don't want the fucking police involved. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to not get caught. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, those are some of the things that if it were to be legal, those would be reasons, like just kind of justifications on why. So I'm interested in seeing what you found too, because
I actually didn't go against the grain and find reasons it shouldn't be legal because it couldn't be that. I have more just of an opinion.
Okay, yeah.
I looked at the numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that you just brought that up though, because now I'm actually over here thinking wait a minute.
Yeah.
And the part where it's because it doesn't save them, it doesn't make it any less dangerous for them. It could put them at more risk for their pimps and for the people who's sex trafficking some of these, because a lot of these, according to the numbers, a lot of them are there against their will.
Right. Yep.
And they're being sold and they're being forced.
Yep.
And put on the drug addictions, and now they're sleeping with people, to help feed that addiction, but also to keep their pimp happy.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's sad. I don't feel like they should get arrested. I don't feel like that. I feel like they should have rehabilitation somehow. Some place to take them and clean them and try to heal them from the trauma, because again, you just taking these people, some of them were forced into it. Right. And I can't say women, because some of these are young boys that are also get taken and put into this as well, which is, oh my God. It's gross for it to be a woman or a man, but it's like, wow. Straight stealing the innocence out of people, and then we're just throwing them into a big box together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not helping them.
Yeah.
What are they learning from that?
Right. And but so it's crazy because like as much as it's like probably like $1 billion fucking industry.
Oh my gosh.
And
so in 2007, it was in $180 billion is spent on sex trade, with over 10 million providing services.
Okay. And guys, we'll definitely provide all this in the show notes so that we're not just like talking out of our asses. Like, no, I got this from somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, whether the source is valid or not, like this isn't me like just talking. It's just looks around like
looked at a couple of countries that it's like legal in and illegal in, and I was like, wow, because looking at their numbers, these numbers was like high, and these articles are from years ago. None of these are up to date. Like,
okay.
None of these articles are within the last 2 to 3 years from what I was finding, and I was like, I know the numbers are probably double.
Right.
Because it is, I mean, social media is showing it all the time. Like, people are just being stolen.
Stolen, bro.
Kidnapped.
Stolen.
Like, it is crazy out here.
Okay. So, scenario. If it was made legal, and I know, like, the audience, feel free to email us your thoughts, post it on our Instagram, our Twitter, email. We'll have all those links in the show notes. But scenario, right? So if it's legal, right, and I am a pimp of some kind, well, first of all, if I'm a pimp and it's legal, whether it's legal or not, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. I'm out here trying to get my money. And one of the first things that I read about it was like, that's the main reason why people are doing it, because they need money.
They need money.
And so legalizing it, I feel like I'm just kind of trying to think of how that would either benefit me or hinder me. And I can't really think of anything. So audience, please chime in. But if I were the worker, how it would benefit me if it were legalized, or how it wouldn't benefit me if it were legalized. So like the website, demandabolition.org, interviews with prostituted individuals in New Zealand reveal that a majority of prostituted people in the country did not feel as though if decriminalization had curbed the violence they experience, demonstrating that prostitution is inherently violent and abusive. Yep. Okay, cool. And then, and it gave a percentage, 36% of prostituted people reported that their buyers were abusive and violent. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then it just gets deep and freaking scary. It says prostituted persons are mostly women, face exceptional risk of murder and violence at the hand of their sex buyers. And I'm like, dude. So like, I'm thinking, yes, hypothetically, theoretically, I would be more safe if it were made legal, because then I could actually go to the police about the people who are harassing me, or my pimp that won't like leave me alone, or you know what I'm saying?
Probably easy to get free.
Right. So, all right, say again, scenario that I didn't finish.
Sorry.
You're good. I am being pimped out or whatever. Yeah. It's now made legal for me to be a prostitute. So do I go to the police? Because I was a criminal before this was made legal. You know what I'm saying? That's something I got to take into consideration too. And so I go, all right, so I go to the police about this man who's harassing me, who won't leave me alone, blah, 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 blah. Does he have the funds for a fucking lawyer that I don't have? Does he have, like, you know, since up until this point, he's been making all this money off of me. Does he have he most likely has resources and connections that I don't have, making him what I would think would be virtually untouchable. You know what I'm saying? That would scare the shit out of me too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm just really curious as to what other people think and other stats that people have found. So I was talking to my mom and my brothers about it, and of course, you know, we were all kind of on the same page about it being legalized or whatever. But my brother was like, another reason why it's not legalized is because, like, the tax part of it. Because we all know that, you know, stripping is not taxed. Or lap dancing is not taxed.
Right.
And he was saying that, I guess, yeah, that's a big reason. Like how, and I'm ignorant I'm not business savvy at all. So again, school me if I need to be schooled, and I don't know, I'm curious as to why stripping isn't taxed, and I guess, like,
so I have this article pulled up, Procon.org, and it says over $180 billion is spent each year on the global sex trade, with over 10 million women providing services as prostitutes. Some are forced into the trade due to human traffickers, while others trade due to financial hardships. And so it says the number of prostitutes by country were collected from a wide range of public sources. This is monitoring data from global criminal programs. So China had 5 million prostitutes. This was in 2015 from a book called Prostitution, Prices and Statistics of the Global Sex Trade.
Jeez.
Brazil, 250,000 children.
Oh my gosh.
The United States, 1 million. India, 3 million.
Jesus.
Kenya, 50,000 children. South Africa, 30,000 children.
Jesus Christ.
But then there's places like New Zealand where there's 3,500. Denmark, 3,200. Ireland, 1,000. Again, this was from 2015. However, it's just like, my goodness.
Right.
And the part where it says children, what are we doing for them?
Right.
How are we helping them?
Yeah.
All of that money. And it's like you say, like, do you have some money? You know, are you saving this money? Like, what are you doing with this money that you're using me for?
Right, yeah.
Especially if I'm not keeping it, if it's not benefiting me or helping me.
Right. And so it's funny because, and when you said kid, it made me think of this, girl that came into our store yesterday. And so her and her mom came in, and they're both like fairly small people. And that's to say, if, like, you know, someone was bigger than them. So she came in, and then her daughter kind of started wandering around the entrance of the store. And she was like a good 10 feet away from her mom. And so her mom turns around and she goes, "Girl, come back over here."
Yeah.
And she was like, "People are taking kids left and right.
Left and right.
They're waiting for you. They're waiting for you to look away. For a moment, look away so they can snatch the fuck up out of your kid." She didn't say that, but preface, you know what I mean? Like, she was like, I was like, yes, I agree 100%. And I told her, I was like, you are very, very beautiful. Please stick by your mom. And, you know, kids are kids, you know what I mean? They're curious. They get bored easily.
That's it.
Right. And yeah, exactly. I was like, please, please, please. And she was such a pretty little girl. Such a pretty girl. Her hair was done. She had a nice, like, little chunky cheeks. Like, she had to be like 6, 7. But again, I was like, just please stick by your mom. Like, there are so many kids being taken, and
then it's like they get looked for a little bit, and then it's like it's over. The
yeah,
game is
there's
over.
yeah,
So I'm in a group chat. I'm not going to say the name.
right, yeah.
One of our members was recently kidnapped. He went to do like a hookup, and he was abducted and never found again. He's been reported dead at this point.
Oh my
and it's
god,
like the search
dude.
was going so strong, but he just went into thin air. And it's like this happens with the kids. Like they get picked up and taken somewhere far away. And
that would put me on the biggest edge, dude. Like, if I was, if I didn't stop online dating, which is another episode that we'll get into, I'm sure. If I didn't stop doing it, that shit would have made me stop doing that shit. Like that, it would.
So I got asked that yesterday at dinner. So I was asked, do I use Grindr off topic? But I was like, hell no. I was like, because I'm not into hookups.
Right.
You're not coming to my fucking house, and I'm sure not going up to yours. I'm not meeting up with you in no hotel at no. We're going to go have dinner in this public setting.
In a public setting.
Let my friends know, hey, I'm going on a date. I'm going here just in case.
Drop my location, bitch. What? No.
Just think about the number of prostitutes that are literally have kids. It was another article I was gonna have to find it, and it was saying that like 90% of them like lose their kids to like custody battles and stuff. Like, my goodness. So like now we're taking them. Now we're gonna have some homeless kids somewhere or hungry. It's not their parent up. Their parent is just trying to make money. Right. And that's what they know how probably at this point.
Yep.
And now we're breaking the home.
Right. Yep.
It says 20% of New York prostitutes were addicted to drugs. 90% lost a kid to protective services. In 2007, 78,000 arrests were made. That's where that came from.
Okay. So they lose the custody battle because, for context, they lose the custody battle because they're like on drugs or whatever the case is. Yeah. And of course, like that, and outside looking in, right? That looks terrible. Of course you should not be taking care of this kid and you're full fucking drugs. But
can we blame them for being put onto the drugs though? That's all they know.
Right, exactly. And then like I was forced into this when I was younger. I've been doing it since then. I've been on these drugs since then. And all I want, like the main reason why I got into it was to feed my kid or to provide for my kid.
If it's illegal, why do we have to criminalize everything then? Why do we have to punish them? And that's why I was saying earlier.
Right.
Why aren't we taking them off the street and putting them into rehab? Trying to get them resources and things. Like, why aren't we trying to heal what's broken?
Yeah.
Versus just keep adding on to it.
Yeah, like
then they get out, say they get a sentence, and they're able to make it out. Well, did we help them find jobs? Did we help them build a resume? Are they equipped with understanding certain skills, and are they up to par with how fast life is going? Are they up to speed with technology? Probably not. So what happens? They probably go right back to what they know.
Exactly. Yep. It's kind of like it's kind of like our criminalization system in America in general.
It's just all types of fucked up.
That, and I just feel like there's no once you're deemed a criminal, like you're not. You know what I mean? I feel like if
it's hard after that.
If it's bad enough, like you're not seen in any kind of light. Sorry guys. Trying to plug things up so they don't die. So yeah, you're not seen as any kind of light. It's funny because I was talking to one of my coworkers and he was like, yeah, once a criminal, always a criminal. Yeah. The fuck do you want? You know? And that's so sad. So I was thinking.
I want to read something to you really quick.
Yeah. Go for it.
Because this is important, as the terms human trafficking and prostitution are often used interchangeably with one another. When we do this, we make inappropriate distinctions between two similar but very different realities, which seems insignificant on the surface. The consequence of using the wrong terminology can be detrimental. And so it says human trafficking involves just not sex trafficking, but also labor trafficking.
Right.
This distinction is important to make so that survivors of any form of exploitation can be recognized and receive the services they need to find healing from their traumatic experiences. That is really big too. And so it was saying that prostitution is, when we look at prostitution, we look at them doing it on their own. As if it is their choice, they're doing it for them.
Yes.
They're kind of leaving a pimp out of it.
Right.
Now, when pimp comes in, that's basically like sex trafficking, because you're making them do this for money.
Yep.
You're getting a percentage of that, and they're getting another percentage if they are.
Right. If they are, yeah.
So prostitution itself, if it's their choice, again, at this point, why are we faulting them?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Now, for the ones, that's where it should be asked, like, is this your choice? Like, are you doing this? Do you want to get help? Do you want to find another way? Mm-hmm. And some people may say no. They may like the lifestyle that they're living. That's a possibility. That's just being a devil's advocate. But for the ones that are forced into this or were thrown into this, that probably have a bit of a soul to be saved, why can't we save them?
Right.
Or try to at least save them and help them and show them that there's another way.
Right. Yeah. It's funny because as you're talking about all this, have you ever seen the show Chicago Med?
I watched like maybe one episode.
Okay. So there was this episode for all you like Chicago Med fans out there. Spoiler alert. So, spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1. There's this episode where one of the new med students, she gets like super invested in this guy who comes into the hospital, and he's like a drug addict, right? And of course, like drug addict, they're seen with a negative stigma already. Like, this is your fault type shit. Why are you on drugs? You know what I'm saying? So then he's like really, really shy and quiet. And so they send the med student in there. And so she's the only person who eventually gets him to talk. And so then she finds out that he's been trafficked. Like, he's being pimped out and coerced into doing said things. And so she grows an attachment to him, just like he grows an attachment to her. And it's not a very healthy attachment on either end, because she ends up like kind of developing a bias toward him and offering, he asks her, so he gets so comfortable with her that he asks her to like stay at her house. And like, do you know how dangerous that would be for like a person? But when the police, for a person to ask you, hey, that's being pimped out, for them to stay at your house, that's dangerous as fuck. So she was like, I was hoping that she would say no, and she did. But I was thinking like, this bitch gonna say yes. And so they got the police involved because like Chicago Med and Chicago PD and Chicago Fire are all linked. And so they get the female detective from Chicago PD to talk to him, but he doesn't tell her anything. He doesn't tell her that like he wants help. He doesn't tell her anything. She's like, it's out of my hands if he doesn't want my help. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do anything if, because they offer him safety, they offer him this, they offer him that, and he's like, no, like, he's just, like, gripped with fucking fear. And so,
that's so sad.
Yeah, he's, like, gripped with fear. He's like, and so, toward the end, he's like, there's no hope for me. and there were a couple episodes where he like disappears because he's like, there's no hope for me. I'm sorry to bother you, this and that. And the med student, she's like, you're not bothering me. I just want to help you. You know what I mean? I just want to be there for you, whatever. But when she declines him to stay at her place, it kind of reality hits him. Like, I'm stuck here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this or that. And so, long story short, I'm pretty sure he ends up dying because of this or that. But to loop back, they put a tracker in his ass too. And so I feel like it would be okay, so once it is legalized or decriminalized, how do people who are already so deep in it get out? What we'd have to come up with a regulated system to where if I'm running an establishment or I'm HR at establishment or whatever.
This makes me wonder about, like, again, not cutting you off, but when you're going into like this hierarchy kind of like, you know, the levels to it, it's like, are they like getting to the point where maybe they're about to lead it and they work so hard that, you know, maybe they don't want to, you know, are they like, where are they at in this? Where are there, is there levels? Like, is there because we definitely don't understand it if we don't have the experience.
Absolutely, 100%.
So it's like, is there threats on your life? Are you protecting a family member? Like, if I stop doing this, maybe they'll stop taking care of da 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 da. I mean, look at these TV shows and these movies. They definitely be dropping hints. They definitely give that this is a possibility that this is going on. So could that be happening too? Like, could he just been trying to protect somebody? Like, I kind of want to get help. Like, I really care that you care.
Right.
It's feel something from anybody.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But my goodness, that is, wow.
Yeah, and so what threw me for a loop was the whole tracker thing, because they had to like cut it out of him. And so it shows the med student with his little tracker thing, and it shows her putting it in a like stream so that they follow that instead of him or whatever. And I think he either dies or he disappears or something like that. But it's so sad, dude. It's so sad. Guys, if you haven't peeped any of the Chicago series, please do so. They're very good. They're very long, but they're very good. You kind of get hooked on the characters immediately because I definitely did. I
want to watch it.
It's good. It's really, really good. Side note, one of the characters is a naval officer. He's fine as hell, in my opinion, because they show him like shirtless and working out, and like he was overseas, and like he's got like, you feel so bad for him because he wants he's post-traumatic stress. Like, he wake up like cold sweats, you know what I mean, like the worst of PTSD that you could possibly have. He's in the reserves, but he was active duty before. Yay. And so you just feel so bad for him, but he's so hot, and you want to save him, and you want to like and he's a doctor now. Ooh.
They always say that there's resources for things, and
yes,
help with this, help with that, help with this, help with that.
Yes.
Like, I'm sure there's resources to help, you know, like, I mean, of course, we know there are some for like drug addicts and people who need support, like support groups. We have that for like the prostitutes.
Right. And to be honest, I think it's one of those things where you'd have to do like extensive research on maybe like nonprofit organizations that dedicate their time to helping these girls. Because for a while, my dream was to have a safe house for at least 10 women who have been trafficked, who have started the kind of rehabilitation process. So this, in my mind, this house would be ran by myself and a few other people to get them like the bare basic minimum toothbrush, toothpaste, a place to sleep, kind of what are your goals at this point, and kind of like rehabilitate them into kind of civilization again, or kind of life again. So we'd have like this kind of workshop here and this kind of workshop there, and or a therapist on hand or whatever. And this sounds great in my mind, but I haven't like, thought about the logistics and prices for stuff and blah blah blah, prices for people's time, and things like that. But ideally in my head it would be somewhere safe for them to go and start their lives how they would. And I'm sure it would be very, very difficult, but I was so intrigued by human trafficking when I started studying it in school. And I was just so I just felt so much empathy and so much sympathy and just bad for these people, because
people are terrible out
people
here.
are evil.
Are evil.
Evil, man.
My goodness.
Fucking evil.
I remember seeing the movie, I think it's called Trafficked, with Paula Patton. Love her. And like seeing her like, go through the whole trying to break free is like, I wonder how, some of these people probably do put up fights and, they probably end up really hurt and injured and really messed up. And that's how they probably get put onto the drug addictions too. When I think about prostitutions, we grew up with a recovering one next door. And she was like, I was taught it young by my family, why does she act like that? Why is she screaming? What's going on? And that's about like what being in between the fix was and like how certain drugs make people react, but also that she was doing that too by the different people leaving the house and coming and going.
Oh man.
And it was just so scary and it was just so sad.
Right.
And so I remember I was super young when she passed away eventually. And I was just so sad because I was like, dang, like she was a crying soul probably. People trying to help her, she lashed out and would fight the neighbors, scream at the neighbors, throwing shit at the neighbors, like just out of her mind sometimes. It's like, oh my goodness.
Right.
So it's like you say, like it could be a safe house too, like wanting to do that is such an amazing thing. But it's like, how do we get them to it?
Right. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, I have this place for you, this safe haven for you where, ideally I'd have a very good relationship with the police or security or whatever in town. Very good relationship with them. And, I'd be able to call them if someone didn't feel safe, if someone was being tracked, blah, 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 this and that. How do we, again, how you were saying, how do we get them to not take the bait, because that sounds terrible, but like, how do we reel them in for them to feel like we're not taking advantage of them? We're trying to help them. We're trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I was just about to say, I'm thinking like some type of like boot camp. And I say that because I'm trying to help them learn skills, learning how to get back into like a routine.
Right. Ooh, that's a good idea.
It's going to be scary, but being there with a place of empathy, having some type of like medical care for them.
Right, yeah. Dang, that's a good idea.
But it's like you can also just start with just a damn first aid kit and some pain meds for the pain. Help healing wounds, cleaning sores, and trying to fix broken looks and fixing smiles and stuff like that. Like putting
right.
Helping them get back into reality for a certain period of time, and then like, okay,
a boot camp.
You can help. That can become like senior and help, with like more,
right.
And we can bring more in. And
yes.
Stuff. But then how do you protect them from the past and those that will probably try to harm them? Right.
Yep.
I like the good relationship part, but man, the government can't be trusted sometimes. So like one of these people could be, somebody did run a sex trafficking ring on this ship.
Oh my God, I heard about that on the aircraft carrier I was stationed. I won't say which one, But there was supposed to be, there was supposed. It's funny because in both places I was stationed, and in both places I was stationed, I'd heard rumors about aircraft carriers doing that. In both places, I was like, that can't be fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like that has to be a real thing if I'm hearing it multiple times, more than once.
Yeah.
So I'm like, thinking emoji, you know.
So your answer, what is it going to be? Should it be legal?
Oh,
what are we gonna
well.
I feel like since it's illegal, and the numbers are so high,
we should at least.
Why is there a punishment instead of a rehab?
Right.
I don't think it's safe, like, regardless. Like, I mean,
right.
Yeah, a person has choice over their body, or at least they fucking should, Roe versus Wade.
Which...
We're going to get into that.
We're going to get into that.
But should have a say over their body. If I'm choosing to sell my body, I should be able to sell my body and not get punished. However, for those that don't want to and get snatched up, because, again, we see numbers...
Mm-hmm.
Some of the documentaries that you learn about, like how some of these, it was a girl that was born into this shit, and I was like, oh my goodness. Oh, my mom and dad, like, my goodness. What else do you know? But like, if she wanted to be saved, how do we save her?
Right. Yep.
Like, why would we punish her instead of get her off the streets?
Right.
I feel like it should be legal.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say it should be legal because this is hard. I feel like I want to stick with my first answer before you hit me with those facts. I don't like that they're being hurt or anything, but if it is their choice and that's what they want, they should be able to do that and not have to run.
Right.
And they shouldn't have to work for somebody else to pay somebody else's debt. Because other countries have damn brothels and shit like that. Like, so...
It's legal in Nevada, apparently.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't know that before I started researching. So I think that at the very least, based off of this kind of the research that I've done, the little bit of research that I've done, do not bite my fucking head off. I think that it should at least be decriminalized.
Yes.
But
absolutely.
On like, and I think with a decriminalization, it would there has to be a thick ass line between this decriminalized act and like coercion, sex trafficking human beings. There's a thicker line there now, because I'm doing this I'm my own kind of quote unquote victim. I'm doing it because I want to do it, or I need to make money or whatever, and now this is a legal way to do it. Cool. However, what he's doing to me or she's doing to me, making me do this, that's illegal. You know what I'm saying? Very different things here.
Okay.
Exactly. Very different things.
Sex trafficking and prostitution is very different. They are not the same.
Right, exactly.
A prostitute is selling and doing those sexual acts for profit for herself or himself.
Right.
Sex trafficking, I am being held against my fucking will.
Yeah.
Get me the fuck out of here. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's their choice, and again, it's their body. We should not be forcing them to do this, and then we should not be throwing them into jail when they are forced and picked up.
Right. Yeah.
What sense does that make?
Also, like how you were saying earlier, how is this helping them? And how is it helping anybody in this situation, with the exception of the buyer or the trafficker or whoever? Them aside, who the fuck is it helping?
It's not even helping them, because then they lose this one and they go steal another one.
Facts. Yep.
It was a lady literally walking into her house with her son behind her. Mm-hmm. As soon as the door closed behind him, this man popped up in their ring. Like, he walked up and literally tried to snatch her door open and tried to grab either her or her son.
Oh,
that shit was caught in 4K. Like, you are trying to kidnap. This lady was being followed at the zoo with her kids, and next thing you know,
was it the TikTok you sent me?
Girl.
Oh.
Like, what the fuck? What the hell are y'all?
Oh,
so, if y'all are listening to this, if you are walking and you happen to see napkins stuffed in a car door, your car door, you see something unusual on the handle, don't touch that shit. Call the police or notify somebody. You know, this is not okay or normal, because one lady went to the hospital. She was poisoned by it. I guess by just having contact with it, it just poisoned her.
Right.
Like,
whatever it was.
Oh my goodness.
That, when you sent me that, I was like, duh. This is why I carry a knife and fucking pepper spray on me everywhere I go.
Yeah, just in case.
Now, I think, kind of moving forward, I'm going to be a little bit more careful about where I put it and things like that. But pepper spray on my keys, at least.
Helps. It's right there.
Exactly. And I told my mom, I was like, I need you to carry this on you no matter what. Because my mom is very spiritual. Bless her, right? We love her. But she's very anti-violent or whatever. And I think, yes, she says these things. Push comes to shove, she's beating somebody's ass if she needs to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I was like, I need you to carry this on you for my peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? So at least you can attempt to fight back or attempt to get away or attempt to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because here in Texas, it's legal to open carry, I think. Yeah.
My friend carries one in his little, what are these little satchel things called? His little fanny pack.
And then
he's ready. Shit.
Yes, my ex always carried his with him. Like, he was like, I'm not fucking playing around with these people. You know what I mean? But in other states, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. So I told her, I was like, hey, man, for my peace of mind, you know what I'm saying? Please carry this around. And so that's another thing that in, like, the boot camp that you were mentioning before, which I freaking love that idea. How to defend themselves.
Resources.
Exactly. Resources. Okay. But yeah, guys, so let us know what you think. Let us know maybe a different perspective. That's the whole kind of thing that I want to get into with this podcast, is different perspectives, different opinions. But and people are gonna have their own opinions, right? Different views, different experiences, things like that. So yeah, guys, let us know what's going on. Let us know what's up, and yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. Yes.
I'm glad that you had me on this, because this is a conversation. It went deeper than I was expecting, and I love that.
Yes.
There's so much to it, y'all. We gotta be safe out here and protect ourselves for sure.
Absolutely. So, yeah, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and you'll be hearing from us on the next episode.